Do I like Friends? I'm only wearing this Friends shirt right now.
Could I be wearing any more clothes?
But no, if we're being honest, I'm not that big of a fan. But I can recognize the point of it, why it was so successful, and why it's still being watched today. But I've seen the show go from being so widely liked that it swings back into getting hated on. Like, oh, you know, liking Friends isn't a personality trait. And then it starts getting hated on so much that it swings back into, you know, hating Friends isn't a personality trait. You're probably saying, Nathan, you were the one that tweeted that last tweet. Yes, I was. But I like to be ahead of the curve, okay? It's funny to me to sit back and just watch the general opinion on things change for no reason. And sometimes I like pulling the strings. But my question is, if a general opinion can change so drastically, does it even matter? Something you think is terrible can grow on you, and something that you love can grow off you, and you can think it's terrible later. The psychology of this is pretty interesting to me. But the thing is, nobody really wants to wait or think about anything. It's more important to tell everybody how you feel about something than it is getting a chance to actually feel it for yourself. Because by the time you actually have a well-formed opinion, people might have already moved on. That's why there's publications where they review music like a day after it came out. That's why there were 100 videos calling The Last of Us 2 a bad game months before the game even released. Big Sean, I see you. This first song is trash. Like, yo, that tweet's pretty funny. I can't lie. But like, did you have to run to Twitter to tell everybody the album is bad 30 seconds into the album? Because the rest of that album is honestly pretty solid. It's not amazing, but it's not garbage. You know how many times I've listened to a song and thought it was terrible, just some booty, okay? And then a week, a month, even a year later, somebody plays it. I'm like, whoa, wait, what was that? And it's the same song I thought was garbage before. It just comes on in the car or in the background of a video or at a freaking roller rink derby, and I'm loving it. The whole time it's the song I was hating on. Sometimes the space you're in, who you're around, the weather even, can change your opinion on music and just kind of make it click sometimes. I think my favorite albums are actually the ones that grow on me, that I get more from every listen, as opposed to the ones I love on the first listen but get nothing from on multiple listens. I like when art grows on you as you grow. I used to hate pickles with a passion, and now I am like, give me your freaking pickle, you idiot. How can you not like pickles? They add a little zing to the burger. A little zing, I need that zing. I just want a little zing. It's even worse because most people will just look on Twitter and be like, I'm gonna have that opinion. The thing is, I know they want to enjoy these things that they're hating. Deep down, some of y'all like this stuff.
Look! He's been hiding the pickles under his tongue the whole time.
But other people's opinions literally made you feel like either you don't like it or you can't say that you like it. Pineapple pizza is actually good. I'm sorry, not to the people who hate it, but to the people I went to war with. Y'all were right. Y'all were right the whole time. I was once that edgy kid who tried to hate on pop music. Once you let go of that barrier and just have fun, life is better, honestly. Instead of being in a party mad because they're playing a popular song.
You're looking at the master of leaving parties early.
I've always said The Big Bang Theory is a trash show. And then I was thinking, like, have I ever actually seen Big Bang Theory? Or have I just seen a bunch of out of context clips from people already saying it's trash? If I'm a creator of a show, that's not how I would want people to view this show. If I show people a clip from my favorite show, Seinfeld, it could be funny, but the best part of that show is knowing the characters, why they act the way they do, and the funny things they say are funnier because it's something they would say, and you know that. So I gave it a chance. I watched it. I still didn't know. I still didn't like it. But hey, I gave it a freaking chance. And it's honestly not the worst show ever. I just think it's super interesting when something is critically hated or like commercially just bombs and then is later seen as a classic. Hocus Pocus was critically trashed. It did terrible, made no money. And now 20 years later, it's considered a classic. It's the most popular movie on Disney Plus. It's the friggin' #1 at the box office in 2020. Like the hate for the Star Wars prequel trilogy, for example. That was a little overwhelming.
Oh, I don't think so.
As a kid, I loved those movies, and then I got on the internet and I was like, oh, I guess they're bad. Everyone hated on those movies for like 15 years straight. I mean, everyone. Like, you couldn't even say anything nice about them. And now those movies are beloved. The memes saved them.
I have the high ground!
They're more loved than the new trilogy, which people thought would be impossible. Like, I can't imagine being one of the people that were working on that movie. You love Star Wars, you grow up on Star Wars, you get a chance to be in Star Wars, and then everyone aggressively hates on you for being in that for years.
I couldn't believe some of the things they wrote about the prequels. You ruined my childhood, and I'm still angry about the way they treated Jake Lloyd. He was only 10 years old, that boy, and he did exactly what George wanted him to do.
I just wonder how that must feel to everybody involved. You're just hated on for 15 years straight, and all of a sudden the people are actually like, you know what? This isn't that bad. Sorry. Opinions change so often. Can you even take the general public's opinion on anything seriously? Somebody who was considered a legend can be considered whack now, while somebody who was overlooked but dies young can be considered a legend. The amount of people that were hating on Justin Bieber or Twilight, and then we're all getting older and realizing like, maybe we were too harsh on these things. And it's even funnier when it happens the other way around. Somebody that's so loved becomes hated. Every time a new artist comes out, I literally can just watch it happen, know exactly what's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen every time. A new artist will come out, everyone will hype the life out of them, act like they're the new best thing ever. Everybody's just loving them. And then it's only a matter of time before that same crowd starts to hate that person. Even if they didn't really necessarily do anything wrong, just because they became overhyped. Y'all were the ones overhyping them. Then now suddenly they're trash, they're overhyped, they're overrated. On to the next thing. And then the exact same thing happens with the next person.
In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you.
So as someone who tries to put stuff into this world, tries to create, you know, how do you not go crazy from that? It's genuinely interesting to me how you can put 5 years of work into something and it can be deconstructed in 2 seconds by 12-year-old Timmy from Iowa with no brain. Twitter, it's either classic or trash immediately. I'm guilty of this sometimes. Sometimes before the music even comes out, I've said this before, an artist drops a track list and there's only 10 songs, I'm like, it's a classic. I don't have to listen to it. How do you not go crazy from that? Because I'm somebody that wants to put stuff into this world, you know? A lot of time I'm gonna be taking in criticism and start thinking, yeah, maybe what I did is trash. As somebody who makes things and puts them out for people to see, I basically have to like something so much that I'm indifferent to whether or not people like it or not, because I like it so much. Like, I have to be confident enough in the work that somebody's opinion of it won't immediately sway me to their exact opinion too, to think they're right, because sometimes they're not. I gotta be able to take constructive criticism but not necessarily let people's opinions sway my own opinions, especially of myself. Yo, I used to not even like me. I'm not gonna lie, I still have a hard time with me. We don't get along. I want what I'm doing to feel like a success to me before I even put it out, so that success isn't defined solely by how other people are taking it. That will just be the cherry on top if they happen to like it. This interview with Donald Glover blew my mind in 2018. This was right after This Is America came out and blew up.
I wonder if you are interested in all the analysis that goes on of that video.
To be real, I haven't been on the internet since Thursday night before this Saturday Night Live.
Really?
I was like, how can you have a video hit like 200 million views in a week and just not check it? Like, because at this time, every time I'd upload a video, I'd be refreshing it every 2 seconds, seeing if the views are going up, seeing if there's comments, seeing if people like it. At that point, I could never imagine just putting something out in the world and then just giving it to the world and relaxing and doing my own thing. But now I'm low-key at that place. I think deleting social media for a couple of months definitely helped with that. If people tell you what you made was awful, but you like it, at least you can enjoy it. At least you get something out of that, you know? You can make something else another time. But if somebody tells you it's awful and you also already hate it, you're gonna be like, oh, bet. So I was right, it is bad. But then somebody will say it's good, and then you're gonna be like, oh, maybe it is good. And then somebody else will say it's bad, and it's like, oh wait, no, yeah, they're right. Other people's opinion will be your opinion. When I used to put out stuff I wasn't confident in, I would literally look for hate. I would feel like the people who weren't hating and were appreciating the thing I was putting out were like lying to me. It's like, there's no way all of y'all thought this was good. One of y'all must know that this is actually bad because it is. And then when I finally see a hate comment, I'm like, I knew it! I knew it! On the other hand, as a consumer of things, as somebody who likes watching things, likes consuming art, if you will, I try to watch things, form my opinion before I go online to check others, because I know it will influence my opinion without even me realizing it. Like, if a movie has incredible, like, it's like 100% reviews, and I go in, I'll be like, this is, it's not all that. What is this? Like, the movie Venom had so many terrible reviews, and everybody was hating on it so much that I went in and watched the movie, and I was like, dang, this is actually not that bad. And I actually had a good time watching it. But if that movie had 100% rating, I would be like, yo, what is this? Like, literally the reviews would have changed my experience of the movie. Not what the movie itself did, but my actual perception of the movie before I even went into it. I've become more mindful of, you know, the process of like getting yourself psyched up to release things into the world, knowing that it will be there to get criticized. So knowing that, it's like if my favorite artist drops something, I'll give them the time and energy it takes to actually actually listen to it. If I know they put work into it, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and actually take the time to consume the music, you know? And even if I don't like it, I don't necessarily need to go out of my way to tell the person that it's garbage. If they're not hurting anybody and they're trying to make their own thing, it's like, if you like it, then hey, I'm happy for you. Sorry, I couldn't enjoy it, but hey, there's always other artists, there's always other albums, there's always other movies. It's time to just move on, I guess. Because at the end of the day, maybe I'll actually come back to that thing and like it later. Maybe I was at the wrong point in my life to appreciate it now. Sometimes it's good to change your opinion, especially if you got a dummy opinion. And this is not to say you sheeple. You people of sheep, because I do the exact same thing all the time. But it's like, keep in mind your opinion can change. One thing that your opinion probably will matter on is the coming election though. So go ahead and vote. I don't want to say your opinion doesn't matter and people are going to be like, oh my gosh, are you talking about the election? No, I wasn't talking about the election. I was talking about basically everything else in life. But what are some opinions that you've changed over the years? Some strong opinions, serious or otherwise. Maybe you watched this video and it changed your opinion on this channel. And now you're gone. I mean, that's fine. I mean, whatever. I'm indifferent to your opinion, you know, so.